Alright, let's go ahead and start in our sky today. This actual painting was one of the first ones that I ever put on YouTube, and looking back on it, I don't like it. so I don't have nothing really to paint, so I'm gonna repaint this. This is how to paint a fishing pond. That's what I named it when I first put it out, and I'm just going to redo it, see if we can't make it better. I've got trees back in here. I'm using this little brush just so I can place where I want stuff. Let's see, it comes down to right in here. I want this pretty light here at the bottom, so I'll go ahead and throw this in here. I want it pretty light down here. Let me grab some Prussian blue. Put it around the top area. Yeah, sometimes if you don't have something to paint, well, in my case, and you got some videos that when you first started you'd started putting videos on YouTube, and you don't like them, just redo them. Because a lot of people haven't seen them. I mean, they're pretty far back. This very painting is one of my, I think, my very first one. Let's take a look there at that. Okay, let me give me a 2-inch brush. So what I'm trying to say is, in other words, there's plenty of people that's never even seen this painting. So to them it'd be new. So that's good for me, isn't it? I do have liquid white in the sky right here. I'm putting some pure white right here. And this has trees, so I'm not really too concerned with that. Let me go ahead and start blending some of this. Let's see how we're looking. Crisscross strokes, that's the best way I found to blend this stuff up. And start at the bottom and work your way up. Yeah, it's got a little movement in it. That's what I'm after. A little movement in the sky. I'm gonna wipe this brush off a little bit. Bring this one down just a little, just to make sure it's covered. I'm pretty sure, at least I think these trees will be this high at least. It'll be pretty high, pretty tall. That's what I'm trying to say. Stand back and take a look. It's probably okay, except for this. I don't like this. I'm going to go ahead and put some darkness right here. I'm just going to take some black. This is the brush I just used. It's already got blue on it. I got pictures down there I'm looking at. Let's go ahead and throw get some darkness going right here for our trees. Got to have your darkness down before you put your light. This actually comes up pretty high, and these trees are pretty far back. And they pretty much come all the way to the top of this barn, above the barn, all the way out to here. I'm into that liquid white. As you can see, it's kind of blending with this black. Okay, that's not bad to start with right there. We're just going to probably leave that the way it is for now. All right, let's go ahead, stand back and look. Let's go ahead, this is a pond by the way, and I want to put some reflection. Let's go ahead and start with some pure cad yellow light. And let me go ahead and define the ridge line here a little bit. I want the sun to be coming down this way, I'm pretty sure, as of right now. I just want to define, oh, I forgot there's a small little mountain back in there. Just a small little mountain, one I'm going to use a brush on. Okay. That's probably good for that. Let's take some yellow ochre, throw in here, mix this up. And down in here, just need some color. Right down here in front of this barn. Let's take some ochre and just throw in with this yellow. Okay. Bring this down a little bit more, and I'm going to switch over to some greens. I may even start a little bit right now. Just throw it in here. This is how I always do it, and then I just mix it up. This gives me a nice variation of colors. And then I'll go over everything with the fan brush, but this gives us a real good base. Good starting point. Real good starting point right here. Let's see, as it gets closer, it's going to get darker. We're just throwing this in. It's going to be dark over in here. Let's see, right in here. Because of the shadow. Going to have a shadow over in there. Okay. I keep wanting to stick my brush in Prussian blue, and I better just not do that yet. I'm just throwing in some ochre, some greens, throw in some yellows here and there. More ochre, more yellow, because the sun is probably hitting this right here pretty good. More yellow, green. I'm just throwing it in, ain't I? Just going crazy with it. I don't think I can come all the way down. I think there is a path, and I know there is. Now that I'm looking, probably right in here. And probably somewhere in here. As I said, we're just throwing these colors in right now. Let's take some blue. This is Prussian blue, very dark color. We're going to throw it down in this area. Should be dark as it comes toward us. Let's even take some crimson, which is reddish. It's a foreground color, red is, so it's fine. I put some out on purpose just so I could stick it down here. Let's take some more Prussian blue. Let's start right here along the edge of this little pond. We're just quickly doing this because this is just our base colors, all this is. Okay, this should be lighter here on this side of the pond. Don't get very light when after you stick your brush in Prussian blue, though, I will say. But that's okay, it's our first coat. Okay, let me get me a 1-inch brush. Get one that's pretty clean because I'm going to start up here in this yellow. And I'm going to And all this is, this is just the base coat. That's it. Just get right up to the barn. Start in the light area and work your way down. Don't start in the dark and work your way up. It would be really, really bad. Try to stay out of that blue for as long as you can. Once you get in the blue, it's over with, man. It's your brush is toast. It's not good for much else but blue and dark colors. Once it gets in there, so stay out of it for as long as you can. See, like now I'm getting so close, I've got to get in, and that's fine. Now it's fine. Let's pull this out. Just work along the bottom, get it all blended up. But you see these nice colors. This is a perfect base. I may even wipe this paint off so I can go ahead and get some oil out of it, basically. But then I can go ahead and work on putting the final touch on it when I get to that point. That way I can keep working on this today. Okay. All right, I've been working on here a little bit. I've changed my mind again. This is not going to be, this is a fishing pond, but I'm not going to, in my original painting, the very first one I did, I was trying to recopy it and make it better, but then I had a sign here that said fishing. It was kind of cool, you know, and I had dirt, a little dirt path here and up that way, but I've changed my mind. You know, I do that a lot. Changed my mind. This is looking different, and as the painting progresses, sometimes we change our minds, especially me, and I've changed my mind. So I'm just going to make this kind of like a landscape painting, because I really like this, and I hate to make it look like that last painting, because I really like that, the way the pond looks and stuff. I think I might put a fallen log maybe around the pond, maybe a fence post or two, and put in a few more trees. I'm putting in a lot of trees today because I think it needs them. I'm just running some quick highlights. I'm gonna make these leafy trees do the comma stroke thing. We're not gonna do the one inch brush and stomp the leaves in. We're gonna do it the old-fashioned way. Do the comma stroke. Yeah, I like the pond, and I like how the grass is looking. If I can just get something else to complement it, some trees or whatever it takes, figure it out. We'll figure it out hopefully. But I want to highlight these trees before I put the leaves on, because it seems to be a lot easier to do it that way. Sun's coming down from the upper left, going down this way. Let's take some burnt sienna and throw in here. I was going to use some yellow ochre, but guess what? I don't have any on my palette. Can you imagine that? So now we've got to come up with some other kind of color variations. The leaves are going to cover a lot of this up in here. I could probably put some yellow ochre on that here in a bit. But let's go ahead and do this. Let's put some burnt sienna and some white. Burnt sienna and white is a pretty good, I like how it looks. It's a pretty good little combination. And I'll come back with some different stuff. I don't have any yellow ochre, so I gotta do it a different way. Now let me take some Prussian blue. And wipe my brush off here. I like to put it down the back side. Actually, I got a brush, I think that's already got some blue on it. I like to have, when I can remember, I like to have a clean brush of the same size as a clean brush. When I say clean, I mean light colors, and then have one with dark colors. if that makes any sense. I'm rambling a lot this evening for some reason. Yeah, even these highlights, these things I'm putting on here, they're probably going to be hidden by leaves, possibly. I mean, we can make them be hidden. We know how to do that stuff, don't we? I always put Prussian blue down the backside because, man, it's just a great shadow color. It presents real good darkness. I mean, look at that. I like that. Once you blend it up a little bit, kind of smear it in. It definitely makes the dark side of the tree, that's for sure. And some of this will be hidden more than likely. See, that's not too bad of a little tree. I just need some ochre in that. And I'll take this Prussian blue and I'll do the same over here. Just run it down the dark side of the tree. And kind of blend it in. Alright, I'm back. I'm having a heck of a time here. I didn't like this side right here. I put this tree in here. I put a tree right here. I think you've seen me do that. I don't like it, so I'm going to put a gigantic tree close up tree right there. And that's the plan. I keep changing my mind. I'm just trying to fill this out. I'm winging it, of course, and I'm just trying to fill this out. And as the painting progresses, I'm changing my mind. I think I'm going to put some fence posts in here. I wasn't sure about doing that because I do that a lot, but they do look good. So let's take some raw umber. Let's put one right. I'm trying to see, do I want them close or not? I don't know. Let's just put one right here. I may change my mind. I may make them real big and close up. I don't know. I'm just feeling my way through this. Oh, let's make one a little crooked, of course. Gotta have a crooked one. We don't know why this fence is here. It's just it's just a farm. This fence probably been up for 80 years. Of course, I'm gonna work with it better than what I've got here, but I'm trying to fill this out. Maybe one more. Maybe we can make them as big as we want. I'm just trying to think of how big I want them. That's just like this one here. See, that's probably a good size right there. And then we'll come over, we'll make this one a little bigger to match. Fence posts kind of always go with the barn. I mean, they just can't hardly have one without the other. Make some of these a little gnarly looking. We don't want them perfect and straight. The more crooked they are, the better sometimes. Make some fat, some crooked and leaning. Like this one is crooked. It's crooked and leaning. We're just filling it out, man. I don't have nothing good to look at. We can put some Put a railing or two on this. I think it probably needs that. And let's put this one leaning like right here. That one leaning there. Let's have one. Have one here. Have one here. That might be okay. It just looks like it's just a really old fence. I think that'll work. I think that will work right there. This is probably way too wet. Well, I don't know what's going on there. So it's way too wet to put this on, but maybe not. Don't hurt to try, does it? Of course, I'll have to go over this again. But this gets us a start. Gets us a little start, don't it? Sure pick up a lot of brown when you do, well, this is raw umber. Pick up a lot of raw umber when you put this white on here. It mixes. Mixes really well. Okay, that's probably all I want to do today. It's a mess. We'll get it fixed though. I'll be back tomorrow. Alright, let me show you what I've been doing. I've been putting in these cool looking bushes, man. I love this color, cerulean blue. I think I'm gonna put a couple more right over in here. Just a few of them. Just for, because I think it needs it. I'm trying not to use too big of a brush, and I got my granddaughter's brush out again, of course. Just a couple. Maybe one here, one here beside it, and that's probably enough. You don't want them too awful big. That'll give us a pretty good amount. I'm gonna put some vines on here, and I think I haven't started working on my big tree here yet. I'm thinking about putting a branch. I hate to go through my tree, but it needs something right here. I think I'm gonna put a, I mean, you just gotta go for it, man. I mean, you just sometimes gotta go for it. Something coming through here like so, going up. I gotta do it now, don't I? I've already stuck paint on here. Something like this. Have it go up and over, and I might even bring it down a little bit there, because this is a big tree. It's a doozy. It's a doozy indeed. This needs to be pretty good sized branch. This is raw umber. I'll have to bring some branches off of it here and there. But yeah, I put this big tree in trying to cover another tree up that I didn't like, and boy, I got a whopper of a tree now. It's gonna take me a while to do this tree. I mean, there's a lot of stuff got to go in that. You may not think so, but trust me, there is. I'll have to switch brushes here and get a smaller brush and work on some of this. Yes, bring one hanging down, coming from up here. And then I'll probably just put some smaller things. Oh boy, I'm getting brave now, man. Let's see. I don't want to cover up his trunk so you can see that that's a tree there. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Maybe I'll bring another big branch right here. Try to make it look more normal. Try to make it look as normal as we can. Yeah, I'm gonna get a smaller brush. I'm gonna start working on this tree, I believe. Well, let me go ahead and finish some bushes for you. I hope I got enough cerulean blue out. I'm just touching it on here. Man, that's just such a nice color. Beautiful color. I've been taking a little bit of white, kind of touching the, giving just a little pop of white. Yeah, I think that's good right there. Okay, we're getting ready to put some red flowers on here. I've been working here a little bit. I'm gonna take some alizarin crimson. A lot of you guys have seen me do this before, and I'm just gonna place them wherever I think we want a nice red flower. And then we're going to put some cad red light on top of this. And then probably put a little bit of white on top of that. This will give us some nice color. We got that color, and that's beautiful. And this color here is nice too, cad red light. Once I get this crimson on here, this is just a base. This makes it a little darker at the bottom. Bottom of the flower. Let's see, 4, 6, 7. Let's put 2 more. Let's go ahead and do 2 more. Let's put one right here. That looks a little empty. Maybe one more right here. Why not? Now let's take some cad red light. See if we can get this to stick on top of that. This is real wet. Yeah. Oh yeah. Man, that's a beautiful color. Cad red light is nice. One of my favorite colors. You got to keep wiping your brush off because you're going to keep picking things out that you don't want, such as the color underneath. And then we'll put a little bit of white on it, as I said, if we can get the stick. It becomes a problem after a while. Just for an extra color, got a big chunk of it here. I'm pretty sure this will stick. Yeah, see, just put a little bit of extra color in it. Just a little extra. Tough to get it stick when you got so much paint on there. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I like that. Okay, I'm gonna keep chugging along. We're almost done with it. Well, guys, it looks like a wrap. I think it turned out pretty good. I got a little surprise for you here. Got a sign that says fishing, and I do know how to spell fishing, but this looks like an old country pond, so that's all we got right there. Hey guys, don't forget to like and subscribe for more future videos. Thanks for watching.